Good afternoon, race fans. Here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are getting set for NASCAR Spam Series qualifying for Sunday's Kobalt 400, race number 3 of the 2017 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. We are getting set for knockout qualifying, the 3 rounds of knockout qualifying for Sunday's Kobalt 400. 45 cars are entered, 42 spots are open to compete in Sunday's race. I'm Eric Burton here to broadcast booth. Happy to have you along with us for 3 rounds of qualifying, and we'll be beginning round number 1 here momentarily with the 45 cars entered, going out on track for 15 minutes as they will compete for us to get inside the top 24 to advance. In the round number 2, we will explain the format a little bit more as we go along in the session. But as we take a look at your practice speeds from this morning, the 31 of Ryan Newman was the quickest at a 31.494. Joey Logano was second. Kyle Busch third quickest. Clint Boyer and Jamie McMurray rounding out your top 5 in practice speeds. Jimmy Johnson, AJ Allmendinger, Matt Kenseth, Brian Vickers, and Trevor Bayne rounded out your top 10. We're also going to take a look at the 10 Goya homers who will be fighting for a spot in the field. And this is where they wrecked in practice. Landon Castle 27th, Brendan Gaughan, Ryan Reed, all the way down to Ron Ellis, Jeffrey Earnhardt, and Stephen Light. So we had 10 Goya homers, 7 spots open. We will find out who will make the show at the end of round number 1. We're also going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have cars making the way off of pit road onto the speedway as NASCAR Spring Up Series qualifying is about to begin here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. NASCAR Spam Series qualifying has finally gotten underway as you see cars are already making the way off of pit road onto the speedway. The first car, the 22 of Joey Logano. Second in practice, he'll be the first car to make his way onto the track to post a qualifying time. We'll have 15 minutes here in round number 1. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here tomorrow afternoon. We'll have qualifying in the morning, the race in the afternoon, and tonight, the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series returns to this channel at Mobile, the Mobile International Speedway. That is the Can-Am race tonight, and the ARCA Racing Series will also be racing from there tomorrow night from Mobile. As Logano takes the green flag on his qualifying run, takes the green flag. He's not the only guy on track. We have a lot more coming around turn number 4. That is the 30 of, if I can get a hold of him, there he is, the 30 of Stephen Light. One of our many Goya homers. Stephen Light looking to, the former Rookie of the Year, looking to make his first start of 2017. And right up ahead of him is the guy with the most swag right now, the 4 of Kevin Harvick, coming off a big win from Atlanta. His first win driving a Ford. Just his second start driving a Ford. Kevin Harvick qualified 19th and won the race last weekend from Atlanta. Led the final 4 laps as he passed Jimmy Johnson with about 6 to go. Kyle Busch, another fast car from practice, now making his way into turn number 3. Kurt Busch, the 41. Matt Kenseth, the 20. And we've already had a lot of speed's been posted now. Right now, the 22 of Logano is currently the fastest at a 31.840, and that's on Logano's second lap. The fastest speed in the fastest lap from practice was a 31. Let's see, it was a 31.49 set by Ryan Newman. Logano, or now Kevin Harvick, who went at the top of the board, is a little not as fast as Newman was in practice, as Logano picks it up to a 31.64. Denny Hamlin now jumps inside the top 5. He's now second. Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and Regan Smith now your top 5 here. As Kevin Harvick came out of Atlanta as a happy camper, the 48 was the complete opposite. One would think that Jimmy Johnson finishing second would make this 48 team pretty excited coming here to Las Vegas. Well, think again. Johnson led 23 laps of the 30 laps from Atlanta, but failed to get the win. Dominated the event, came home second, and lost the victory for Jimmy Johnson. And a little bit of contact here out of turn 2, Logano, and the 22, the 24 of Chase Elliott. And how about the 13, Casey Mears has jumped to second on the board. A great lap by the Geico Chevrolet of Casey Mears. And we are about almost under 11 minutes remaining here in round number 1. Now, the goal for many of the drivers is to make it into round number 2. That is the top 24. That is where these drivers are aiming to be. But for a guy like the 32 of Joey Gase and the 38 of Landon Castle, it's a little bit of a different story right now. Their goal, as of right now, is to get a good enough lap to make the show. You must beat 3 Goya homers in order to qualify for the events. And you see contact from Landon Castle and Eric Jones. Castle right now 30th quickest. He just picked it up to 29th on that lap, even though he got nearly wrecked by Eric Jones. Right now, Landon Castle is 29th. Joey Gase is currently 35th in the 32 car. Right now, we have 45 cars that have already been on track. Right now, Ryan Ellis, Stephen Light, and Reed Sorensen are the bottom 3 at the moment. See, Johnson and Eric Jones. Landon Castle is making life tough on the 77 of Eric Jones right now. Jones is 3rd quickest, very, very fast right now. And Landon Castle not so much. Here's Eric Almirola, 25th quickest right now in the Armor Ford out of Richard Petty Motorsports. Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell, David Gillen, another Goya homer right now, 39th quickest in the Deathless Blasting Toyota Camry for BK Racing. Casey Kane, he had a tough weekend at Atlanta, qualified pretty poorly, if I remember correctly, and finished just as bad. I mean, I don't even think Casey Kane got a top 20 finish out of Atlanta last weekend. New paint scheme for AJ Allmendinger. Kroger has a new paint scheme for 2017 beginning this weekend at Las Vegas. That's paint scheme by AJ Allmendinger. He was 7th in practice right now, 24th. He is the last car who would advance into round number 2. Allmendinger jumps to a 31.79, but he stays 24th quickest. Reed Sorensen right now, 43rd. He is not in the show at the moment. And if Sorensen wants to jump inside of the 42 car field, he would have to bump out the 98. That is his teammate, which is Garrett Smithley here this weekend. Garrett Smithley running double duty. He'll be running in the Xfinity race tomorrow afternoon for Johnny Davis Motorsports. Trying to get this car in the show, and right now he's 42nd. Right now, Garrett is in the show. Right now, his teammate Reed Sorensen running full-time is currently on the outside looking in. So is the rookie out of BK Racing, Ryan Ellis, only 45th for the Science Logic Toyota. Clint Boyer 22nd. We got Greg Biffle struggling back here in 31st place. There's David Reagan now leaving pit road. He's right now 41st. Right now, the quickest guy here is the 22 of Joey Logano. And I'm not sure if I just saw him on pit road or not. No, I didn't. Here he is right here. A 31.478 is Logano's best lap. And that would have been fastest in practice had he set that lap. A 31.47 for Logano. Right now, Logano, Earnhardt Jr., Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Kinsey the top 5. Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Jimmy Johnson making up your top 10. Right now, the bubble belongs to the 47 of AJ Allmendinger. But how about the guy on the outside looking in 25th place, Ryan Newman, the fastest guy in practice. Right now, he is struggling to make it inside the top 24 just to advance into round number 2. That's how competitive this field is of these Cup Series teams. Right now, he is 25th. Brendan Gaughan, 26th. I believe Brendan became the fastest of the Goya homers right now at 26th quickest. Now, the Goya homers are decided by the top 35 in owner points from 2016, but that will change beginning next weekend at Phoenix. When we get to Phoenix, we'll have a new format on these drivers on getting in the field, which in a format where nobody is safe. Now, when we get to Phoenix, and this will apply to all top 3 NASCAR series, Xfinity and trucks included, But beginning next weekend for the Cup Series, for example, is you must be in the top 36 on qualifying speed to be in the show no matter what, no matter where you are in owner points. You could be 25th in owner points or 43rd in owner points. If you are in the top 36 on speed, you are guaranteed a spot in the field. 37th on down to 42nd will be decided on owner points from 2017. So owner points are still important here in 2017, and they will really decide who qualifies for the races on after. Now for Xfinity, you must be in the top 33, and for the Truck Series, you must be inside the top 30 to make the show. We're under 6 minutes remaining here. Ryan Blaney, we're taking a look at him. SKF coming on board. SKF coming on board for the weekend. Ryan Blaney, the sophomore driver. Jamie McMurray right now 19th quickest in his McDonald Chevrolet. Ryan Reed, the rookie, right now 36. Brad Keselowski, there's your day 2500 champion, the Miller Lite Ford of the two-time series champion right now, 8th quickest for Brad Keselowski. Brendan Gaughan, 26th quickest. Gavin Harvick is right now 18th, and this is really where we saw Harvick in qualifying 1 week ago. Harvick didn't really show that much strength in qualifying, but when it came to the race day, he was on point. He was making passes left or right, and he was very quick once the green flag was in the air on race day. But we're seeing the same thing this weekend, really struggling right now when it comes to trying to get a good lap in for qualifying. We're now looking at the number 30 Incredible Bank Chevrolet of Stephen Light, your 2012 Rookie of the Year contender. Talked about him earlier in the broadcast. 44th quickest. Right now, the way it stands, I don't believe Stephen Light would be in the show. No, he would not. 44th. Right now, Light is currently on the outside looking in when it comes to making the show. The bottom three is Reed Sorensen, Stephen Light, and Ryan Ellis, as we are now under 4 minutes remaining here in round number 1. And Light contact from Trevor Bayne. Comes out the track. Slows down both Bayne, Light, and even Eric Jones' momentum. Ty Dillon moving by the 26, Jeffrey Earnhardt. And Ryan Newman Newman's been bumped to 26 to the 43 of Eric Almirola, now moved to 25th place on the board. But still right now on the outside looking in as Newman now picks it up to 25th quickest, but neither is making a run at the top 24. And right when I say that, the 47 got bumped, and I'm not quite sure. That was Eric Almirola. So AJ Allmendinger has been bumped from the top 24 by the 43 of Eric Almirola as a 3 wide here coming out of turn 2, trying to get around these slower cars. There's Eric Almirola now, 21st quickest. He's inside the top 24 right now. He would advance in round number 2. Kyle Busch running double duty this weekend to be running the Xfinity race right now, 4th quickest behind Casey Kane and the 27 of Paul Menard. But after Allmendinger got bumped out of the top 24, that put the RCR number 33 of Ty Dillon now on the bubble to advance. Ty Dillon a 31.746, hoping it would stick for another 2 minutes. Now, like we said during Atlanta, once the clock hits 0, everybody on track, the lap they're on is frozen. They cannot better their lap no matter where they are on track. Once the clock hits 0, their times are locked in, and they will not be able to pick it up once the clock hits 0. David Reagan, Brandeis coming on board as the primary sponsor for David Reagan. And a great lap by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right now inside the top 10, 7th quickest for the Fastenal Ford. He's also running double duty, driving the number 98 Biaggi Ford Mustang in the Xfinity Series. This weekend I'll be running that race tomorrow. A little bit of double duty for a former Las Vegas winner in the Xfinity Series for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ryan Blaney running double duty. Chase Elliott also running double duty. A lot of guys running double duty here this weekend. So is Brendan Gaughan running for RCR. And Ty Dillon's been bumped from the top 24 by his Richard Childress Racing teammate Ryan Newman now inside the top 24. Ryan Newman, 21st quickest. That has now put the 14, Clint Bowyer, on the bubble to advance into round number 2. Clint Bowyer, a guy who we would normally expect to be pretty good when he comes to getting into round number 2. Right now, Bowyer not that quick. Right now, 24th. His teammates also not really that impressive. Kevin Harvick, 18th. Brian Vickers, 17th. Kurt Busch is now Kurt Busch 9th quickest. Right now, Bowyer, 24th, 30 seconds remaining. Ty Dillon, 25th. Allmendinger, 26th. Brendan Gaughan, Buescher, Smith, and Bain. And it appears the 3 drivers who will not qualify for Sunday's race will be Reed Sorensen, Stephen Light, and the 93 of Ryan Ellis. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that will end round number 1 of NASCAR Speedway Series qualifying. And as we go into round number 2, the 11 of Denny Hamlin wins round number 1, like Joey Logano second, Dale Jr. and Kyle Busch, and running at top 5, Eric Jones, your top 5. Clint Bowyer will hang on to advance in round number 2. And the 3 drivers who will not qualify, Reed Sorensen, Stephen Light, and Ryan Ellis. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have the speeds from round number 1 and show you who will move on to round number 2 and run for the top 12. We'll be right back after this. Okay, we are back live here from Las Vegas, and round number 1 is in the books now for NASCAR Speedway Series qualifying from Las Vegas. And we're going to take a look at the speeds for round number 1. The drivers who will not compete in round number 2. The drivers will not move on. 25th place on down. Ty Dillon begins the list at a 31.746. It was not enough to make it into the top 24. AJ Allmendinger, 26. Brendan Gaughan, 27th. He'll be the fastest of the 10 going homers. Chris Buescher, Regan Smith, and Trevor Bain. Michael McDowell, Cole Witt, Greg Biffle. Bad day so far for the Jack Roush guys. Bain and Biffle, 30th and 33rd. Lanny Castle, Michael Annett, and Ryan Reed. That is your 25th through 36th. Joey Gase will make his first start of the year. He'll start 37th. David Reagan, Paul Menard, Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Gilliland, and Garrett Smithley makes a show for Premium Motorsports. But on the disappointing end for that team, the 55, the primary car, Reed Sorensen, will not qualify for the event. He will go home. So does the number 30 of Stephen Light and the 93 of Ryan Ellis. All 3 of them will not compete in Sunday's race. Now we're going to take a look at the speeds from the drivers who will compete in round number 2 and will run for a spot inside the top 12. That is your goal now, as Denny Hamlin wins round number 1. Joey Logano, Dale Jr., Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones. Matt Kenseth, a great run by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 7th. His teammates were very bad in round number 1, but Stenhouse comes home 7th. Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Johnson. And how about Casey Mears, a Geico Chevrolet? Casey Mears 11th, a great lap. In round number 1, he'll advance Ryan Blaney. And 13th, Chase Elliott, all the way down to the 14 of Clint Bowyer. In 24th place, Bowyer barely hangs on over Ty Dillon. Bowyer will advance into round 2. Now, the clock is already rolling. Round number 2 has already begun, and we will have 10 minutes here in round number 2 with 24 cars now going onto the track. Our goal now is to be inside the top 12 to advance into round 3, the final round of knockout qualifying run for the pole. But they got to be in the top 12. The fastest lap in round 1 was a 31.440 set by Denny Hamlin. The first car on track will be the number 2 of Brad Keselowski, the Miller Lite Ford. A former winner, Brad Keselowski, I believe he won this race 1 year ago. as well. So when it comes to Las Vegas, Keselowski is a guy who you may want to have on as your pick to win. He's on track, so is the 20 Mobil 1 Toyota of Matt Kenseth, now making his way through turns 3 and 4. 42 Kyle Larson. The 18 of Kyle Busch, 4th in round number 1. Brian Vickers on track, Eric Almirola, there's Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick now leaving pit road. Brad Keselowski now takes the green flag here in round number 2. Heading down the back straightaway. Let's go on board with Keselowski. A 32.209 set by Brad Keselowski on his first lap. Brad was 8th in round number 1. Gavin Harvick on track. And we did not really talk about Austin Dillon that much round number 1. Austin Dillon won the pole for both the Xfinity and Cup Series race last weekend from Atlanta. How about Eric Almirola? He went to the top of the board, but I believe Keselowski may top him. He does, a 31.933 for Brad Keselowski. He'll be bumped by the 20 of Matt Kenseth. Now he goes to the top of the board at a 31.893. But now, quickly after I say that, Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson, and now Brian Vickers, second quickest in the 10 car. Great lap by Brian Vickers on his third lap. That was Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet, 9th quickest. Eric Almirola, one of the guys with a little bit more older tires, because he had to go out a little bit more in round number 1. He had to make a lot more adjustments to get inside the top 24. Something I'm seeing a lot here this weekend at Las Vegas versus what we saw in Atlanta qualifying last weekend is we're not seeing a lot of guys be fast from running in like a little pack, like right behind a car like Casey Kane and Kyle Larson, or, you know, and maybe a little draft from Kevin Harvick to Austin Dillon. We're not really seeing a lot of that here this weekend. What we saw last weekend was 2 cars running right together, like a little pack, like a little tandem. That'll be almost half a second faster than a car running right by themselves. And we're not really seeing that much of that here this weekend. In fact, Joey Logano, he's only on his second lap. About to say he's only 20th quickest, but this time he picks it up to a 31.62. Right now, 3rd quickest for Joey Logano. Denny Hamlin right now only 16th on his second lap. Jimmy Johnson on track now. The 48, Casey Mears in the 13. A very impressive lap by Casey Mears in round number 1. Eric Jones, Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now, 2nd quickest with the 88. All 4 Hendrick Chevrolets are right now inside the top 10, trying to advance into the top 12. And right now, the guy holding down that 12th spot is Denny Hamlin at a 31.703. First guy out is the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Let's see, Ryan Newman moved by the 21 of Ryan Blaney. And Logano has now won the top of the board, a 31.523 for Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski, right now, he's only 5th quickest in that Miller Lite Ford. He's ran 3 more laps than Logano. Maybe his tires are getting a little bit older as Chase Elliott now jumps to 2nd on the board. The 24 Kelly Blue Book Chevrolet. 2nd quickest now for Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch 3rd, Dale Jr. and Keselowski. Kyle Larson, Stenhouse Jr., Kurt Busch, Johnson, and Truex. Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards. That is your top 12. Casey Kane, McMurray, Eric Jones, Harvick, Kenseth, Newman, Brian Vickers, Austin Dillon. And then you have Almirola, Blaney, Boyer, and Casey Mears. pretty surprised by the speed by Denny Hamlin so far. He's only 11th quickest after setting the bar in round number 1. Not quite sure where the speed has went to the 11 car. It may have went to his teammate Kyle Busch right now, 3rd quickest. He's the only Gibbs car inside the top 10. Even though there is a Gibbs affiliated number 78 car, Truex in 7th, but you have Gibbs inside the top 10 with Kyle Busch, but then you have Gibbs 11th, 12th, and 17th with Matt Kenseth. So a little bit of different setups for the 4 Gibbs Toyotas. Casey Kane, the only Hendrick Chevrolet not inside the top 12 at the moment. Universe coming on board as the primary sponsor for Casey Kane this weekend. A new sponsor to the sport as well, so that's pretty cool for that organization. Jimmy Johnson had a great car last weekend, like we said earlier in this broadcast. Dominated last weekend from Atlanta, but came home and got 2nd place after getting passed by Kevin Harvick in the final laps. Lost the win. Johnson is a former winner here at Las Vegas. So that does make him a lot confident coming into this weekend, trying to get a little bit of redemption from last weekend. Dale Jr. looking very quick here as we are about 2.5 minutes left to go here in round number 2. Remember, like we said in round 1, once the clock hits 0, the times are frozen, they're locked, and you cannot complete whatever lap you're on. You can be coming right off of turn 4, and once the clock hits 0, you cannot better your lap. So you want to try to do it as fast as you can, but very impressed by the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We talked about his teammates, Trevor Bayne, Greg Biffle, 30th and 33rd of round number 1. Stenhouse, he was inside the top 10, he was 7th of round number 1. So obviously the 17 does not have the same setup as Bayne or Biffle. Stenhouse is a former Xfinity winner here at Las Vegas, won here back in 2012, the year he won his 2nd Xfinity Series championship. He'll be running double duty this week, like we said. Carl Edwards, a former Las Vegas winner, won here back in 2008 and 2011 for Carl Edwards. Chase Elliott right now is 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd, Kyle Larson 6th, Kurt Busch 9th. It appears Kurt Busch will be the only Stewart-Haas car advancing it into the final round of qualifying. Brian Vickers 19th, he's on pit road, possibly getting one last adjustment made on his Haas Ford, but I don't believe he'll have that much time to go out and really make a real good run. He'll have about maybe 30 seconds when he gets back around and take another green flag or to begin another lap for Brian Vickers, as we are now 57 seconds remaining here in round number 1 right now. Edwards has been bumped from the top 12. That puts Denny Hamlin on the bubble. And I believe the 77 of Eric Jones. Was it Eric Jones? It was the 77. Eric Jones all the way up to 4th quickest. That bumped Carl Edwards from the top 12. So one Toyota bumps another Toyota out of the top 12. That puts the fastest man in round number 1, Denny Hamlin, on the bubble to advance. So if Edwards wants to bump his way back in, he would have to bump out his teammate Denny Hamlin. Saw that earlier with Ty Dillon and Ryan Newman. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that wraps up round number 2 of qualifying, and the win will go to Joey Logano now. He will advance in round number 3 with a 31.523 as his official lap time for round number 2. He slowed down a little bit from what he ran around number 1, but he's still the quickest. Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch top 3. They will advance as you're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with round number 3 here from Las Vegas. We are back live here at Las Vegas, and round number 2 has already been completed. The drivers who failed to advance in round number 3 begins with 13th place Carl Edwards. He was knocked out at the top 12 at the very last second. In round number 2, he will not advance, and he will start 13th on Sunday. Round number 7 next to the 5 of Casey Kane. The 1, Jamie McMurray runs out your top 15. Kevin Harvick, last week's winner, will start 16th on Sunday. Rounding out your top 20, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Brian Vickers, and last week's pole sitter, Austin Dillon, rounds out your top 20. Eric Almirola, Casey Mears, Ryan Blaney, and Clint Boyer, the remaining drivers who do not make it into the final round of knockout qualifying. Now the drivers who do advance, led by the 22, Joey Logano. He wins round number 2, a 31.523. He slowed down quite a bit from what he ran in round number 1. He was in the 31.40 bracket in round number 1. Chase Elliott, second. Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Top 5, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Kurt Busch. Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin is still pretty much anybody's pole at this moment. I mean, 2,000 separates Logano and Elliott in round number 2, so anybody can really go out here and win the pole in the final round, as the green flag is already waved here in the final round of qualifying. We are already on the green, and here in round number 1 we'll have 5 minutes with these 12 drivers making their way onto the speedway. And so far, nobody has yet to roll off a pit road. And right when I see that, it changes with the 42, Kyle Larson, one of the drivers who really picked up from round 2 from round number 1. Larson was 7th quickest in round number 2. Larson was, he was 16th in round number 1. So Larson did pick up from round 1 to round 2. Right now, he's the only car who has rolled off a pit lane, and he'll be coming around turn number 4 to take the green flag. Kyle Larson, the Eno Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Looking for his first pole of 2017. Takes the green flag. Now here comes the 24, Chase Elliott. The Kelly Blue Book Chevrolet now leads pit road, the first Hendrick car to make his way onto the track. Elliott was 2nd in round number 2. And as we go back to round number 1, Elliott was 13th. So he was another guy who really picked up from round 1 to round 2. Here comes his teammate, the 48, Jimmy Johnson, 12th quickest, or 11th quickest in round number 2. Kurt Busch, 10th quickest. And Larson put the lap on the board of a 32.233. That is the lap to beat to sit on the pole for Sunday's race. That speed is going to get a lot faster when Larson and more cars hit the track and complete a few laps. Right now, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch. Now there's Keselowski now, getting up to speed on the backstretch, and he may end up, no he's not, I was not sure how close he was going to be to Elliott. But we're going to see what kind of lap the 42 has, as Elliott will now come around to complete his first lap, a 32.181 for Chase Elliott. That's just his first lap. Martin Truex Jr. on track, there's Denny Hamlin. And Jimmy Johnson 2nd for the 48 car. Kyle Larson picks it up to a 31.85 for Kyle Larson. Kurt Busch 4th quickest in that 41. Ricky Stenhouse takes the green flag in the 17th. And Keselowski puts a 32.284. 3rd quickest for Chase Elliott. Look, he got held up by the 77 of Eric Jones. Logano and Truex. And now the 48 to the top of the board. Jimmy Johnson, a 31.823. The 48 now quickest until the 42 bumps him. Kyle Larson back to the top of the board. A 31.773. That's still slower from Logano's lap in round number 2. Keselowski 4th. And now Kurt Busch 3rd. We have Logano 5th. And Truex. Martin Truex Jr. now to the top of the board. And he's been bumped by the 48. Jimmy Johnson now quickest. Kyle Busch 2nd of 18 car. Kurt Busch jumps to 5th. Stenhouse jumps to 6. Keselowski jumps to 6. Junior jumps to 8th. Erie Jones 4th. Elliott 5th. And Logano now quickest in the 22 with Truex 2nd. And Johnson back to 2nd. I mean, these times are getting faster and faster. Hamlin 8th. And Kyle Busch to the top of the board. A 31.559 for Kyle Busch. He's now the quickest in the 18 car. Stenhouse jumps to 7th quickest. 30 seconds remain. Keselowski 9th, and these times are still getting quicker and quicker. Erie Jones is 2nd until Logano to the top of the board. A 31.532 for Joey Logano. Johnson stays 6th. Hamlin stays 8th. And Kyle Busch tops all of them. A 31.497 with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that does it. Kyle Busch, the 18, wins the pole for Sunday's Kobalt 400. The hometown hero from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kyle Busch, will lead the field down the green with a 31.497. He wins the pole. Joey Logano will start 2nd on Sunday. Martin Truex Jr., Erie Jones, and Chase Elliott rounds out your top 5 as we take a look at your full starting grid for Sunday's race. Jimmy Johnson 6th, Dale Jr. 7th, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Brad Keselowski your top 10. Rounding out your top 12, Kyle Larson and Kurt Busch. And then 13th on down, Edwards, Casey Candies are the drivers who failed to advance in round 3. It is the Clint Boyer in 24th. And then 25th place on down, Ty Dillon, AJ Allmendinger, down to Reed Sorensen. Stephen Light and Ryan Ellis, the drivers who do not qualify for Sunday's Kobalt 400. The next activity on this channel will be the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series race tonight from the Mobile International Speedway for race 2 of the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series season. That is tonight here on March 5/31. Tomorrow morning we'll have NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying plus race coverage tomorrow afternoon from Las Vegas. And then the ARCA Racing Series live from Mobile tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, the NASCAR Speed Up Series Kobalt 400 here from Las Vegas. That is Sunday afternoon. So we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of Cup Series Knockout Qualifying. Congrats to Joe Gibbs Racing and the number 18, Kyle Busch. He is on the pole for Sunday's Kobalt 400 here from Las Vegas. Goodbye, everyone.